and talk to each other. Share your own perspective towards the struggle, especially towards my trip to Buea. I think it's the most important thing that every Ambazonian should rally behind right now. So those lines are open, and we are waiting on your calls. So we are while we are waiting for calls. It's just important that we go back to the comments that Ray made. You know, after we interviewed Prof. Patrice, there were some few people in the comment section on Facebook who felt, you know, offended that he's francophone. But I would testify that Prof. Patrice Nganang is fighting for the Ambazonian cause more than a lot of the so-called Anglophones. So let's just stop for such negative views. I would just beg you to just stop bringing in the negative energy. Welcome to Amba Perspective. Hello, welcome to Amba Perspective.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Amba Perspective.
Yeah, I can see you guys. I just like to thank you very much for what you are doing. You are not doing so. We know that it's a sacrifice that a very little of us can afford to offer. So I thank you. I thank you, my brothers, and I just want to say this. I've also done I have my ticket. It's something that everybody is doing. We are in that meeting those who are standing around. We are asking our friends if others take their tickets. We are fighting for that. What I want to say is, I want you to ask or find AI that I want to start a course. I want us to sustain when we have our country. I want us to sustain and block a lot of people and the whole people. There will nothing like a friendship like so. We have to open here. No, we have to put any francophone or any French person. Nothing. They have to tell you what they are doing. They are doing the fighting element.
So I don't know, is it a question? Are you just saying that we have to hate francophones? Is that what you are saying? Is that what I'm getting you say, sir?
Yes, go on.
Sorry that we lost that caller. I couldn't hear him clearly, but what I was hearing at the end of the day, we have to distance ourselves from francophones. If that's what I was hearing, then it's definitely on the back of the call, the interview that we had with Prof. Patrice Nganang. And that would be a pity if Ambazonians are saying that. Welcome to Amba Perspective.
Hello, welcome to Amba Perspective. Person has gone off.
Yeah, so if the previous caller was saying that we should distance ourselves from francophones, I would say it's a pity that Ambazonians would want to think that way. It's not a fair thing. Like, if you have listened throughout the interview, this resolution 718 in the US Congress, this resolution was submitted by Patrice Nganang's professor colleagues in the University of Stony Brook. And this resolution, it's on him. And he said, no, listen, the people who are facing these things in Cameroon are the Ambazonians. And he just said on this platform today that he would prefer, and he has told them, that he would prefer to bring an Ambazonian to talk about the Ambazonian issues than for him, Francophones, to try to articulate. Hello?
Hello?
Welcome to Amba Perspective.
Hello?
Please switch off your radio, your TV, or put the volume down before you talk so that we don't get a rebound from your volume.
Hello?
Yes, hello. We can hear you clearly.
Hello?
Hello?
Reduce your volume.
Yes,
sir.
we can hear you, but you need to move away from your receiver. Sir.
Yes, I'm... Okay.
All right, go ahead.
I'm from Balquat.
Oh, thanks for the call, sir. Welcome to Amba Perspective. You are live on air.
It's gone off.
Oh, sorry about that. So when you call us, you need to move away from your receiver so that we can hear you clearly. Or when you call us from your phone, you need to just focus on the phone and you not try to watch at the same time because it will interrupt the call.
Hello?
Hello, welcome to Amba Perspective.
Yeah, this is Dr. Tata from Washington, D.C.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, I listened to the Amba Perspective and the professor presentation, and I looked at it and I saw that the only thing I had a little problem was because he's referring to our problem as the Anglophone problem. I think we are past that stage. It is not. We are a people. We are not a language. Somebody speaking English is not necessarily Anglophone. We are a people, and the history shows that some of us can speak French, some of us can speak other languages, but we refer to ourselves as a people. Am I right?
No, you be right, brother, and we go try to correct that as people that they come on our show. A lot of the words, even those of us from Ambazonia, some of we still call them Anglophone problem, not because we want to call them that way, but just because we not get some of we know why be educated in that aspect for call and debate, use the right appellation. So with time, when we get people on our shows, even some other people when they don't be Ambazonians, when they talk about our issue, we try to educate them more and more, and the more they come, they change their tone and they use the right appellations on the shows, and they get to understand why we don't want to use the word Anglophone problem, because it's not be a language problem as such, and we be a people as you don't articulate them.
Thank you so much. I'm not clarified because our narrative to the world is very, very important. When we refer to ourselves as Northwest, Southwest, it's just narrow our narrative. They say, oh, that is an internal problem. The world watches us. We are two distinct entities, and there is no legal document that combines us together. That's why we are saying that we want. We have reversed back to self-determination. We have referred back to restore our independence, which we declared October 1 last year.
That's true.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tata, for phoning in. I think on these issues of semantics, we Ambazonians, we really need to be patient. We understand that we have to change the narrative, and there's a narrative that has been for the past around 30 years that and this people are conditioned, human beings are conditioned a certain way by media, by propaganda. There is a narrative, and the expectation that you take a shift immediately when you decide and you just turn and you face that way. The people who were intentional on the journey, obviously, we are all Ambazonians because we have been intentional. But there are some people who are coming from behind. There are some people who are not standing in our shoes. And our duty is to educate them. And educating people it has to take a very gradual process, a very gracious process, if I must say. So that's the attitude that we should take. I remember when we started the relationship with Punchline, they never understood our problem. They misinterpreted it in every single way. And they would be on TV. I'll be sitting here in the studio and cringing on the things that they said. But these people are not Amazonians. They don't know our story, and they have just heard of our story a year ago, a few months ago. My duty as an Ambazonian was to educate them, and I had to be patient. And gradually, you can see the shows that Punchline does now on Ambazonia. They are clear, they understand, they articulate it properly. You can even see the videos that they share. They understand what is happening. They understand that we are a people. They understand our right to restoration of our independence, our right, to self-determination and all that. But it took a little bit of time to re-educate them. So we need to be patient in that light. I think that is a point that we generally agree on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. So on those clarifications, I think there's a lot of clarifications that we all need to involve in.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening, comrades Derek and Ray.
Yes.
How are you?
As I would define how you.
Well, are they fine too? Are they fine?
I know fine. Mine will be passing your skin fine.
The line with the worry. You see, our brother will come from the US. I get that very problem with when person call with Anglophone, my belly the one explode with anger. Because my dear friends, they will first give me this name for deny the fact that we know be West Cameroonians, we know be Southern Cameroonians. And then gradually they don't reduce we from a people where they get their own nation, from the people where they get their own state, from the people that will be with their self government, where they get self-governance. They don't reduce it gradually for be a small province inside a country. Now why that way? Plenty of Francophones where they grow up now, they need to understand. When we say we be bit different, they need to understand. If we come out shout say no, we don't want them anymore. They compare we with this the way they don't like to build a country. Look, for instance, go back just check things them. You get school for North Cameroon, where the school they make our tap, but with schools because they will be there. We be the build our school with blocks, we zinc up ourselves. Our parents will be the build them themselves. Because they will teach them to be patriotic, to build their nation up. So if we not stop now to make them, me La Republic no say we be Southern Cameroon, we be West Cameroon where they be named before the unification. They no go ever they use them for La Republic Cameroon. They don't ever know say we be different. So, my brother, when I talk, I talk with some anguish because it be too much. They don't reduce we. When we start for revandicate, when we start for talk saying no, it's not correct. Some man come on with a bit more like tilapia. It talk say get together where they be Anglophone. They be get together they do English. Now why they be Anglophone? No, but they be far from the point. We not be Anglophones. We will be a nation. They be the core we. British Southern Cameroon, because British will get Northern British Cameroon and British Southern Cameroon. So when they will say move, we come for that union now. They call we West Cameroon, they call them East Cameroon. And we get for Tana for that name. We not get for make them be reduced, we move be underdog them. A small province, move dirty like East Province for the Republic of Cameroon, or move dirty like other provinces them. Go for their suburbs them. You see schools them, they don't dilapidate. But go for a province where they don't reduce we big dogs for a long time. but we still build our school them, we still build our infrastructure with our own power, and we want make it remain so. So, my brother, them, we will really try all for cancel everything, cancel all that name where they give we, write that name for paper, maybe they don't call again names them, because when they give name for a dog, if that dog was strong, they will take that name, they say that dog in name don't be so, I will go kill that dog now. Now why did they say they get power for kill we, but we'll say no, you don't correct.
No,
if they don't be people call we Southern Cameroon, they don't say we be Anglophones, they don't say we be foreigners.
Thank you.
I thank you for the wonderful job.
Yeah, thank you,
yes.
Uncle P.
When I get a nice evening, I beg, I'm not going to take too much time when I get a nice evening. So, we Southern Cameroonians, them, or if they don't want to call we Southern Cameroonians, they call we West Cameroon. We be West Cameroonians. That now the name that will be get them well, the inter-union. Today they call themselves like Republic of Cameroon. So where the West Cameroon they don't reduce will be like ants. Inside they call it 2 cubes of sugar. So we remain that West Cameroon will be there because they don't be like Republic of Cameroon. So finish palava.
Thank you, Uncle P. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, good evening, oh.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much, Uncle P.
Yes.
The passion from Uncle P, you know, if somebody has never spoken to Uncle P one-on-one, you know, other than the show, they will not understand the heart that this man has, you know, for our liberation and the work that he's doing.
True.
I just admire you so much, Uncle P. You inspire a lot of us. And on the back of this argument, I wanted to say there's a lot of corrections that we as Ambazonians need to start making. And I would list a few of them on this show today.
Hello.
So one of the first of those corrections, and this is the spin that Chiruma keeps on spinning and making us look funny. The first one is they usually say we are 20% of Cameroon. That is not true. When the two Cameroons united, it was said we were 1/3 of Cameroon. Now, unless something happened to British Southern Cameroons, that people died, you know, in some proportions that we cannot count, we are not 20% of Cameroon. Because when you tell somebody internationally, I don't know, Ray, if you can hold that for a moment, let me finish the thought. Okay.
This is already online.
Welcome to Amba Perspective, sir. When you tell somebody that 20% of the country, and this is especially to somebody who was foreign to what is happening at home with La Republique and Ambazonia, when you tell somebody in a political dispensation that it's 20%, the idea of minority is planted. That is what you are not saying. You are saying that you are a minority. No, we are not a minority. We are not.
Hello.
Welcome to our perspective.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, how are you?
We are fine, thank you. You are live on Amba Perspective.
Yeah. I'm calling from the homeland at Ground Zero.
Well, that's great. At Ground Zero, day, my brother.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello. Go ahead.
Yeah, the problem in Ground Zero at the service is that the ghost town that is going to make on Monday, they have said that on Monday we have got clean up in Tico.
That clean up the Tico.
Yeah, the whole Tico now, every Monday we have a clean up now. They've changed it to use it as a clean up.
Okay, we hope that we'll get this message to the interim government, and we hope that they would look at ways to decide on that, especially for the town of Tico. Thank you so much for bringing up that information, sir. We have noted that, and we hope that we will take it up to leadership.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your
Have a nice day.
You too, brother.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. So in PR, the things that you are saying also means the things that you are not saying. When somebody says we are 20% to the international community, what they are hearing is that this is a minority that is disgruntled. Welcome to Our Perspective.
Good evening.
Evening, sir.
Yeah. I'm from Balikuma.
How Balikuma, my brother?
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to Amba Perspective.
Yeah. I'm from Balikuma.
Yes, good evening. Tell us about the current situation in Balikuma now.
Yeah. What do we want to? Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, would you listen? Would you listen, brother?
No.
Yeah, would you listen?
No, you're fine. Because what do we know about that mission of one woman?
Okay.
But we're fine.
So now what is the worry for Balikumba?
It's gone off.
Oh, we are sorry about that. So this argument is an argument that La République du Cameroon in their PR machineries, they have pushed out a lot, that we are 20%. No, we are not 20%. When we joined in 1961, we were 1/3 of that union. Our country was 1 out of 3 parts. So that is not 20%. And when they keep pushing that argument, they are pushing the minority argument. An international community is very important because minorities tend to be people who disturb a lot of the normal around the world. So that is one thing that we need to fight against a lot and start telling people that we are 1/3 of Cameroon. And Cameroon is the only country where the census are never published. It's national, what do they call that? It's some national intelligence protected what information. They don't publish their census. So we don't know what census are. The government wakes up and says, oh, now the population is this number. Oh, now they have never published a census. They say they say that census are national security classified information. And all that, there's an agenda on us with that.
Yeah, the reason why La République need to publish census now because they know what make know the number of people there, and the truth na say we don't grow so much exponentially for the past 56 years where it surprised them and it baffled them a lot, and we not been a minority as the one for maybe the world for think because because the minority under some kind circumstances they always been a disgruntled few. Way because they be minority, they be disgruntled about the things, but not be basic people that will be a people and will be Southern Cameroonians, will be ambassadors.
Welcome to Amba Perspective.
Yeah, hello.
Welcome to Amba Perspective. You are live.
Yeah, yes, I'm calling from Ghana.
Welcome, sir. You can go ahead and share your perspective.
Yes. I want to talk about the defense force issue.
Okay.
Yes. I have an idea to propose for the defense of our people because of the situation that is happening presently in Lebialand County where those terrorists are terrorizing our people because of the kidnap or the taking away of the no. So I thought at least as those forces have been united, they should at least try to let the inhabitants to know where they are so that at least it should in case of anything they can send off.
Okay.
Yeah, so what was it he talks about the kidnap of who?
Well, I didn't hear that. I thought he wanted to make a proposal on defense. No. So what we will do is we'll take his number and we'll send it to those in the Defense Council, and they'll probably take up the issue with him and see what he was trying to say. Another very important thing that we have talked about is that it's important for communities to be acting in union.
Yeah.
If you see the colonial forces coming, it's your duty to inform people, further than your jurisdiction.
Welcome to Amba Perspective. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, welcome, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling for Amba.
How Amba today?
No, we got there.
Okay, tell me what you want for listeners for here.
Hello?
Yes, hello,
Yeah.
go ahead. God.
Yeah. So there's another game that La Republique plays. When you listen to francophones, especially, and at times federalists, when they're explaining this crisis to international people, they usually say it's the 2 provinces out of 10. That 2 out of 10 makes us, again, it brings back that 20% argument, it's like there was some federal system and we are 2 parts of 10. No, we are 1 part of 2. That is what we are in the Cameroon dispensation. 2 countries
of equal status.
La République du Cameroon and Southern Cameroons came together. We are not 2 parts of 10. We are 1 part of 2. That is what we are. That is something that we have to forcefully go out and correct.
Welcome to Amba Perspective.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello,
hello.
welcome to Amba Perspective.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I want to greet you people.
Thank you.
I'm called from Ambaland.
How are you doing, Amba today?
Yes. Yes, I'm calling from Ambaland.
All right, go ahead, sir. Oh God.
Yeah. So that is a very important argument. Don't let anybody to push that whole 10 province thing with you. No, we are 1 part of 2. 2 Cameroons came together, and 1 part was Southern Cameroons, and the other part was French Cameroon. They returned to their name in 1984, clearly, saying that they don't care about who we are, disappearing who we are. Right now, we are restoring that who we are. And in that process, there's a lot of arguments that are coming up. We need to stop accepting that whole argument of no, it's 2 parts of 10. No, we are 1 part of 2. And that is what we are taking out.
Yeah, we came together and 2 equal partners.
Yeah. So these are things that we need to be putting in our arguments. We need to be putting those in our arguments to clarify the international community, because these things are pushed and we even use them at times, and they are pushed by the enemy, and it makes our case really difficult.
All right, we don't come for the end of the show. We want to just round up, and we want to say we know if we take more calls again, because we just get 1 minute to close the show. And we just want to remind all our Ambazonians, say we get press briefing from the presidency immediately after, in an hour's time, and then thereafter we get the acting vice president, Mr. Taka Milton. He will come up for an interview here on the show. So we're going to stay tuned, because we get very rich programming from now until probably 11 p.m. And for those, I would not yet say that it fixed road for that side, for Sandago, Pingi, or Pass, go Batibo. Next show, I would like to say those of Unona there around that area, make una call, tell me whether not true, whether they defeat that road for the carry soldiers that they pass there for go that type of Batibo for go attack our people, so that we go start to prepare the people for waiting where they go fit see, because we know say any place where La Republic soldiers and pass there, they leave carnage. So the people of Pingi now, they be in danger. Make them be very careful. No say if not true say La Republic they fix their road for begin pass there, then their own time they'll reach where La Republic will kind of start attack them, and they go start to prepare themselves for that. And on my way, he want to contribute for my trip to Boya, find a way, and especially those on ground zero, find a very safe way and try to contribute that trip to Boya, because it be real. And why that way our acting vice president, they come on board today. I want to talk to me. Everybody make sure say they listen to that interview for get more insight on that project, because there's a plan, and if you want to be part of that plan, you give them make sure say you put money on the table.
Yeah. I'm really grateful that in 2 hours time I'll be interviewing the acting vice president, His Excellency Mr. Milton Taka, on my trip to Boya. I've got a lot of questions that I want to ask him, some of the questions that have been coming up on our platforms. I'm asking our viewers to stay tuned. because the press secretary, Dr. Nick Santos, is coming up in an hour's time with press briefing from the presidency, and then we will be moving right after that to the interview with His Excellency Milton Taka, the acting vice president. Thank you, and stay tuned to SCBC.
Bye-bye.
We, the people, are being cajoled, frightened, and bullied into surrendering our democracy and freedom.